think we're here. I'm live. Yay. I'm live. I think I'm live. Just playing around. Live. Hi. This is Shannon Kringen, Goddess Kring, and I was interviewed yesterday about my multimedia art, and hopefully that's going to be eventually put online somewhere. I'm not sure where yet. A person that I'm working with interviewed me, and I talked about my abstract, expressionistic, non-representational art. And I've also been exploring the idea of high-functioning autism and how that overlaps with artisticness, in my case. Not that I need to label myself autistic or introvert or left-handed, although I am left-handed. I am mostly an introvert, and I am an only child, and those are literal facts. So I have a certain kind of repetitiveness and a rigidity and a chaoticness in my life. And I guess I'm going to read part of a blog post that I have. Ooh, come back, screen. Yeah, I am retired from the more erotic kind of expression that I have done. I model for art classes full time, and I work with medical students. So I want to read something about what I wrote. Autism traits I seem to have. Being an introvert, artist, and highly sensitive all overlaps with autism that is very high functioning. On autism in women, I relate to lots of the traits this lady named Sarah Hendricks talks about. I think she's from Australia. Repetitiveness, rigidity, chaoticness in my life, socially feeling unhappy and hard to connect with others in a traditional way. I connect with animals really, really well. I love staring at puddles and water droplets, and I take, interesting photos of things like that, urban decay and textures and patterns I see in leaves, light and color. I like being alone a lot of the time and doing my art, and I sometimes crave more friendships, but I'm not sure what kind of people I fit with. I tend to feel misunderstood sometimes, and I get easily confused by social situations sometimes, although I can communicate pretty well. I feel like figure modeling is the perfect job for me, maybe because I live in my own world, and I love the permission to stare off into space, because in a lot of jobs, you're required to talk and be social and make a lot of eye contact. And yet when you're an art model like me, when I work with medical students, I am required to make lots of eye contact, but I'm really good at doing that because I know what's expected of me and I understand the rules and the structure. But if it's a freestyle social thing, like a party or something, I get more uncomfortable, especially when people are being sarcastic and being competitive and sarcastic and playing sort of games. I don't really like that. Let's see. And so I'm still trying to figure out, at the age of 50, I'm still trying to figure out what kind of people I fit with in terms of being friends with. So I'm probably going to go to a meeting actually for high functioning autistic creative people sometime soon that I found out about. And let's see, some of my favorite times are when I'm by myself and I'm doing my own thing, and I'm doing abstract non-representational artwork, recording my voice, tripping out on hearing voices backwards. I've never liked drugs or drinking. Even as a teenager, I never liked getting stoned. I've been stoned a few times, didn't enjoy it. I've been drunk a couple times, did not even enjoy that. I don't even enjoy one drink. I just don't enjoy alcohol or marijuana or drugs of any kind. I went to Amsterdam once and had hash and also had a bad experience. I felt like my skin was going to fall off. I kept looking at my hands thinking, is my skin going to fall off? I have synesthesia. I love hearing voices backwards and echoes, and I like abstract audio as well as visual art. Um, I'm highly sensitive to taste, smell, sound. I'm good at copying and mimicking others in terms of accents and dancing around like Mick Jagger. Synesthesia, I tend to see shapes when I hear music. I have a strong urge to be free and do things my own way and not follow others necessarily. I literally like doing monologues at home into my microphone, like I'm doing right now. And I had a TV show called Kring on Seattle Public Access every week for 15 years. And it was totally improvisational, mostly monologues, dancing around nude with body paint and just being a natural person. It's kind of an experiment to see the kind of response I would receive. And I sometimes, when I talk to my mom or dad or boyfriend or my very good friend who's like my brother, I tend to do monologues with them. Sometimes I get caught up in wanting to share things with them, and I seem like I'm not really letting them talk as much as I want to keep talking. And that's kind of an autistic trait right there. And I'm not saying that to put myself down. I'm not saying I might be a little autistic as a put down and like to label myself as there's something wrong with me, but I'm trying to figure out if what I'm good at and what I'm not so good at and what my natural tendencies are so that I can learn to love and accept myself and be happier with myself because I tend to think and I sometimes worry that I'm a narcissist and I'm thinking if I was really a narcissist, I would never even question like I'd be like I'm not a narcissist. So maybe that means I'm not a narcissist because I feel like I'm trying to find a sense of self. And I suppose a narcissist is somebody who is obsessed with themselves and thinks that they are the only one that matters or that they're more important than other people. I don't feel that way. I don't feel like I'm more important than other people. But I actually, if anything, I feel like a fragile sense of self. So I like to say fragile sense of self, intangible desire for wealth, self-abandonment got me stranded again, polluted and uprooted, which is, kind of a sad line in one of my poems. But it's about having a fragile sense of self. And I've been told by some people over the years that I meet the criteria for some tendencies towards borderline personality, which actually I think autism fits me more. And they say that a lot of people are actually um, misdiagnosed. Not that I need to be diagnosed and labeled, um, but I'm just trying to like expand my self-awareness for a sense of health, mental and physical health. So let's see, and I'm going to keep reading from my journal. And also, I have a radio show called Goddess Kring Radio. I'm a bit tomboyish. I feel androgynous, but I'm very heterosexual, but I don't really care about labeling myself. I'm in touch with my male side and not really caring about labeling myself or others gender wise. I don't understand why all restrooms can't just be all gender. I don't, I feel like the important thing is to act respectful and appropriate when you're in a bathroom, whether you're male, female, trans, intersex, transgender, hermaphrodite, just the full spectrum. It's just about being respectful of privacy when you're in a bathroom with other people, no matter what gender they are. So, in my opinion, I think all bathrooms should be gender neutral or all gender. So, and then I feel like I'm in touch with my male side and I don't understand what the big deal is. I think all humans to some extent have male and female aspects, even if you're born male or female. In terms of your hormones or your body. Let's see. And then it's gotten me into trouble, though. Some of my views beyond duality have gotten me kicked out of groups, and people, I feel misunderstood sometimes. And people, like if I say anything about Palestinians having rights, people say, oh, you're anti Semitic. And it's like, wait a minute. I didn't say that. I said that I believe that Palestinians and Israelis both have human rights, and I don't believe in violence towards any side, but people don't understand that. And there's male and female, and there's I don't know this us versus them mentality. But it's gotten me into trouble, and I feel misunderstood sometimes. And so, let's just say I haven't found too many groups. I'd like to say oxymorons through the door, a group for loners, and they all showed up. So the only kind of groups that I really feel comfortable in are groups where non-judgmental groups where it's appreciated that every person is a unique individual, even if we're all women or men or we're all artists or we're all left-handed. I'm left-handed. Everyone is different, even if they have similar traits, or all unique, even if we think we're totally alike. We're all unique in our own way. So I like groups where it's appreciated that everyone is unique, and yet there's rules that you follow, and people are cooperative and respectful, but they acknowledge that each other is unique. So I feel female, but I'm very much in touch with my male aspects, my tomboyishness. I don't really wear a lot of jewelry or makeup. And when I do wear makeup, I kind of feel like I'm a man in drag, but not really. I don't really feel like a man, but I almost feel like it's a costume when I dress up or wear makeup. And, literally when I put my body paint on, I am in a costume. It's a performance thing. But even when I wear regular conventional women's makeup, I feel like it's a costume and like it's theatrical and like it's and when I wear when I dress really feminine and wear makeup and wear a fancy dress and heels, I definitely feel like a man in drag, even though I know I'm not a man genetically or whatever my body parts are female. But I just feel like it's kind of silly, and I prefer dressing really comfortably. Like in my Keen sandals or my Fit Flops, which are very comfortable and have good arch support to the point where I could walk for hours. Like most of the shoes I wear, I could wear all day and not get sore feet at all. So I dress really comfortably. And I've heard other high functioning autistic people say that they are very tomboyish, and they feel when they dress up really feminine like they're a man in drag, even if they're a female. So that's kind of a trait that I've heard other people say, but I don't know. And then let's see. Lots of chaos in my head, good for creating art. Sometimes get lost in movie plots, don't remember chronological order of things happening. Getting distracted by the emotions in the scenes and not really caring about the plot line, etc. I was bullied as a kid for being weird, not really sure why actually. I felt left out and excluded as a kid for the most part. I had some friends. I remember loving roller skating solo and pretending I had an audience cheering for me, doing shows in my bedroom solo for an imaginary audience. Loved playing on the playground more than playing with other kids. I mean, I did play with other kids as a kid, but I remember at recess, I was really excited to run or really excited to play on the swings or whatever the metal things are called in a playground, the jungle gym, whatever it was called. I remember being excited to play on the equipment more than I was excited about playing with specific kids, even though I did have some friends. I was really excited about playing and my art supplies. Like I was excited when I was with other kids doing art. I was more excited about the actual paper and markers and paints and art supplies than I was about the other kids. So to me, it wasn't social as much as it was about about playing on the playground or about that's it. Yeah. It's like playing on the playground. I was more interested in playing and making art than I was in socializing with other people. And that is kind of an autistic way of seeing things. Um, I loved things. I like to do things with other people more than I like to socialize specifically with other people. Although when I work with medical students, there's a lot of eye contact, and I'm very good at, I pretend like I'm a patient that has certain medical aches and pains and conditions, and I pretend like I am, a certain patient, and I very specifically look at them and give them feedback, and I give and receive with them, and I seem like and I got a really good letter of recommendation actually from a medical faculty member that I work with. And so I know that I'm doing a good job at communicating. So if I am at all autistic, I'm very high functioning. But I'm just saying that what I'm comfortable doing and what I'm good at might be a little unusual and a little different than the typical person who is more social. And yes, I do see you. What is your name? TUH. Marta. I'm not sure what your name is. You're here now and you're asking me a question. The answer is I don't do, I'm a fine art figure model for artists. I am a performance artist. I'm in the World Naked Bike Ride and the Body Pride Ride and the Summer Solstice Parade, and I'm a multimedia artist, and that is what I do. So the answer is to your question is no, I no longer do that aspect of my creative expression. I am a multimedia artist, and that is my focus. And I work with medical students, so that's what I'm doing now. And yesterday I was interviewed about my artwork. I also have a radio show that's on Hollow Earth Radio. It's every Thursday from 3 to 4 p.m. It's called Goddess Kring Radio, and it's improvisational poetry and music and keyboards and just an experimental mix of creation. And what was I going to say? I feel like there's a lot of chaos in my head, and I create a lot of interesting artwork, but I have to say that the chaos in my head kind of stresses me out to some extent. I go for brisk walks and get exercise to try to help calm myself down. So, welcome anyone listening. There, I said something. And I am a multimedia artist. Whoops. And I'm trying to type something here. My website is shannonkringen.com, and thank you to all my YouTube subscribers that are here. I guess I don't really know what like a lot of YouTube channels, I follow a lot of YouTube channels, mostly about nutrition and ketogenic diets and low carb, high fat, or healthy fat, low carb, carnivore tendency, a lot of nutritional type of things like that. And most of the channels I follow and subscribe to are very much focused on one thing. And I feel like, what's on my forehead there? I got some fuzz on my forehead. My channel, Shannon Kringen, Goddess Kring, whatever you want to call it, is just kind of an improvisational, like I guess part of me feels like I need to explain what is my YouTube channel for. I guess it's for me as a multimedia artist and somebody who's interested in healing and growing and personal growth and creative expression. I guess this is my improvisational channel. Everything I do seems to be improvisational. I play the keyboard. I write spoken word poetry. I'm improvisational when I work with medical students, and I'm improvisational when I'm a figure model. I make up poses on the spot as I go. And I do spontaneous Taoist kind of style photography. And I do non-representational abstract painting. And I guess everything I do is improvisational. So I guess if I had to pick a theme, I would say improv is my thing. And improv is what makes me tick. I guess spontaneous ways of life. And yeah, it's me and my cat and my houseplants, and my boyfriend and I don't live together. I've been with him for 5 years, and we are monogamous. And so I guess I'm traditional in that way, even though I am a very open-minded, improvisational person. Yeah. So I'm thinking about what I could talk about beyond duality. My radio show, let's see, what are the things I could speak about right now? The things that I have created. My last radio show, Goddess Kring, I put it, it's on Hollow Earth Radio every Thursday, 3 to 4 p.m. And then once it airs on the radio station, which is a virtual radio station online, and then it's also a low-powered FM station here in Seattle in the Central District. I put it on Mixcloud. So I have a Mixcloud. There's 104 hours worth of radio shows that I've created by myself, and they are improvisational. Music from other artists that I love the music of, but mostly it's about my own creation. Last week I did improv on my keyboard, I use the flutes, the strings, the piano, my voice doing abstract sounds repeated in my own language. And I put that on mixcloud.com/goddess Kring. So that's what I do on there. So thanks for tuning in. It is now, it's July 21st, 2019, and I'm going to volunteer at a concert tonight and for some music. And I guess, yeah, my summer schedule for modeling is a little bit lighter, so I'm having time to work on photo shoots with other people. And recently, a fan of mine wanted a huge poster autographed, and so I'm working on making that project. And I have a couple photo shoots booked with fine art photographers for trading, but mostly the modeling I do is professional for a living. You know, it's how I earn my paycheck and support myself. So thanks for listening. I just wanted to check in because it's been a while since I made a video. And I've been having some anxiety lately, but I'm mostly doing really well right now. But I'm dealing with a certain amount of chaos in my head, and I think a brisk walk is going to help me, so I'm going to do that. Thanks for listening. I'll see you later. Bye for now.